Hello friends, in this video I am going to discuss a case study. Actually, we will do a case study. So in this case study, we will go through some questions. That means we have some options like when we call to customer care, it can be of for gas service or care for Geo. So they give us option. If you want to talk in Hindi, choose one. If you want to talk in English, choose two. If you want to talk in Bengali, please choose three. So in this manner, we have also some choices. So the first choice is if you want to get student name, then you have to choose one. If you want to get student wise skill, then you have to choose two. And if you want to get student wise skills and certificates, then you have to choose three. And student skill wise higher certificate, then you have to choose four. If you want to get student name by search, you have to go for five. And if you don't want anything, that means if you want to exit this program, then you can choose six as your option. So first, let me hide this. I am going to discuss it from the beginning. So here I have created a reference called students of type list. And we can see here I have used the third bracket. That's why it is my list. But what is within my list? So here we can see I have created, that means I at zeroth index, at first index, at second index, I have taken dictionaries. In this list, I have taken each index in the form of dictionary. That means we can see that this is my zeroth index and this is also my the first dictionary which I have given there. This is my first dictionary. You can see. And this is my second and this is my third dictionary. So we can see that in each dictionary, I have chosen key as name, then skills, and then certificates. And the key, the keys are same in these three dictionaries. Why? We have to maintain the key names when we are using multiple dictionaries as an index. So we have to maintain this order. We can see here I have given here a name as my first key, and we can see that the second dictionary I have given the name as first key, and in the third dictionary in the same. So here we can also see the skills are common in these three dictionaries. In the same manner, certificates are also common. So we have to do this in this manner. Okay, so let's move to our options. So if I choose one, we will get the student name. First, let me print. Then I'm going to show how it is working. So here I'm going to choose as a. Okay, first let me tell you. In line number 54, I am going to ask user to give input, and by default, it will be of type string. Why? Because we know that input is the inbuilt function of Python, and whatever output we will give as an input, it will be of type string. If we want to if we want a input as a integer, so we have to typecast. In this manner, we can use the typecast. So if I choose a number, that means here I am going to ask a user to give a input, and this input will be by default of type string. That's why, as I want a number. This will be of type integer. So that's why I am typecasting the input using the int, that means int function. In this manner, we can convert input which is by default of type string in integer. We can convert it. Okay now. So this input will be get stored in the variable called choice of type string. So let me choose my first option as one. So here I am going to hit the enter. So okay, wait. So when I going to print, it will give me the menus like first choice would be get student name. It would be one for get student name and two for get student wise skill. In this manner, we can choose. So here I'm going to choose one as my input, and I entered, and I can see the student names, then column Komal Kumari, comma Urmila Shah, comma Abhijita, and we can also see that these names are connected, or we can say these names are joined with comma. So here we can see that for if we choose one, so we will get the student name. That's why I have got the student name. So how it is working? Let's check. So this is my first choice, and I'm going to show this. So here we can see I have written some codes which will give me student names, and also these student names will get connected with the help of com. So first I have choose one as my input, and now I have created a reference called students underscore name. Don't get confused. Here I have created the list students. This is my list, and the name of this list is students. And here I am going to create the reference called students underscore name, because I only need number. In this list, we can see that we have name, skills, and certificates also. But right now, I have chosen one because I only want student's name. So I have created this reference, and this is of type list, and I have created this list which is empty. Why? Because I want to get store the name of each student in this list. That's why when I created, I left it empty. So now I'm going to use iteration. So in the first iteration, here I have written for student and students. We can see that here I have written students, which is plural, and here we can see I have written student, which is singular. Why? Because in my students list, I have three students, but I want a single student at a time. That's why I have written here student, and this is my students. So in the first iteration, it will the dictionary at 0 index, and this dictionary, that means the dictionary at 0 index, will get stored in the variable called students. Again, the iteration will take place, and when the second type iteration will take place, it will pick the second dictionary and will get stored in the variable called student. Again, the third time iteration will take place, and it will pick the third dictionary and will get stored in the variable student. We can see this is my variable. Also, in other words, we can say this is my reference, because when we store multiple data in a single variable, it is better to call it reference instead of variable. Okay, so let's move. In line 59, I have called a function, and the name of this function is get underscore student underscore name. Why? This is name which is referred directly my desire. I can see here when for get student name I have to choose one. That's why I have given here get student underscore name. It is directly going to match with my option. That's why this is the most simple and accurate name which I can give to my function. So, and this is student. This is a parameter or argument. Why I have passing this function to the student? Actually, not. I am passing the argument student. As we can see, I have stored each dictionary in my student reference. That's why I am passing the student parameter to the get underscore student underscore name function. And I have already called this function in line number 10. Here we can see that I have, with the help of def key, I called a a function, or I created a function get underscore student underscore name, and I am passing a parameter student. This is my parameter student, and as we can see that each student, that means the details of each student is of type dictionary. So as if I not mention here dictionary, that means my the student names are in the form dictionary or student details. If I not mention, it will also work, but it is better we can use these data types, so it will be easy to get remember things. Okay, now we can see that the names are of string type, so it will return me the string here, in the form of string. So in line number 11, we can see this function will return me the student name. That's why we are getting the student name. Now let's go to the line number 59. So whatever data it will get by the using the function get underscore student underscore name, it will get stored in the student underscore name, which is of type string. As you can say, we know that name of any person, of any animal It's always of type string. So let's move to the next line. Okay, in line number 16, we can see as I have stored the student's name in the student underscore name, but my list was students underscore name. This is plural, and that means in line number 57, I have used the word plural that is students, and in line number 60, we can sorry, in line number 59, we can see that this is student underscore name. That means whatever data I have got, uh, it will get stored in the student underscore name. Okay, now I am going to append the student underscore name in the students underscore name list. And how can I do this? So I will use the append function with the help of dot operator. So here I'm passing the student underscore name in this parenthesis. So it will collect all the names and will get stored in the empty list. So in element 61, I am going to join each student name with the help of comma. That's why we got the output which is joined with comma. Okay, let me again print. Then we can check. If I choose one, then it will return me the student name Komal Kumari, comma Urmila Shah, comma Abhijit Das. So in this way, we can get student name by choosing one as our option. Okay, so let's go to the second choice. Let me hide this. Okay, because we have already done. Now I'm going to get student wise skill, and for this I have to choose two as my input. So if I choose my input as two, what will it return me? That means I'm saying in which format it will give me, it will return me. So let's check first, then we will discuss it. Here I have, okay. So if I choose two as my output, let's see what it will return me. So okay, so it is going to return me skills of Komal Kumari, then column Python, comma SQL. Skills of Urmila Sahu, column Python, comma Django. Skills of Abhijit Das, column Python, comma SQL, comma Django. So how we can get this output? Let me check. Okay, we are getting the output in this format. So we need to check how we were getting. So okay, let's show choice number two. Okay, we can see that here also I have created a reference called student underscore skills, and this is again of type list. And once again we can see that I have created an empty list. Why? Because we have to store the data in this list. That's why I have chosen the empty list. Okay, so as we can see, that in the same manner as we have gone through our choice one, we are going to the, I mean, we will do the same thing here also. So in the first iteration, again we are in Animal 65, we are using iteration. So it will, in the first iteration, it will pick the first dictionary. It will pick the first dictionary and will get stored in the variable called student. And again, in the second dictionary, I mean in the second iteration, it will pick the second dictionary and will get stored in the student. The third time when the iteration will take place, it will pick the third dictionary and will get stored in the student. This is, I can say this is my reference. That means the student is my reference. So okay, now I'm going to call the function name get underscore student wise underscore skills. We can see we have given the option in the same manner, and we have defined the function. These are the same. That means the option number two here in line number 48 and in line number 66 we can see the our option and our function are the same name. So here I'm passing the parameter student and which is the type dictionary. In line number 65, I would like to I would like to tell important information about my list students. Here we can see this is our multi-dimensional list, and why I'm saying this is my multi-dimensional list, because we can see here As my youth index, we have the key and value pair. That means this is my dictionary, first dictionary, and within this dictionary, we can see that we have also list and dictionary. But uh, so in this way, we can say that this is my multi-dimensional list. And what is one-dimensional list? So see this here. This is also a list, but this is one dimension. Why? Because in this list we are not keeping any dictionary, list, or tuple, set, anything. I mean nothing. This is the list which contain only two elements. This is at zeroth index, and this is at first index. So this is not going to contain any other data types like list, set, dictionary, tuple. That's why I am saying this is the first one-dimensional list, and this is my multi-dimensional list. So when we use iteration, it will pick the one dictionary, the very first dictionary from the multi-dimensional list, and will get stored in the reference called student. And here we have defined a function called get underscore student by underscore skills, and passing a parameter student. We have already defined this function in line number 14. Here we can see that I have using the def key, and here I am defining a function called get underscore student by underscore skills, and I'm passing a parameter student which is of type dictionary. So if we choose to, I want student name as well his skill, his or her skill. So it will give me a list. Why? Because we can see the key skills has value in the form of list. So it will give me list. So in line number 15, we can see it will return student name which is of type string and student skills which is of type list. Now let's go to the code again. So whatever data we will get using this get underscore student by underscore skill from the multi-dimensional list, it will get stored in the variable called name underscore skills. This is of type list. Now in line number 67, I am going to append this name underscore skills which is of type list in the student underscore skills list. So here I'm using append function with the help of dot operator to so the data present in name underscore skills will get stored in the student underscore skills list. What happened? Okay, let me. What will happen if I print these codes? So let's check. If I go to print student underscore skills, which is of type list. So let me print. Here I have to choose two as my input. So let's check. So it will return me the value in the form of tuple. Here we can see that here my tuple is going to start and Komal Kumari, then Python SQL, then again the second tuple, and the same manner this is my third tuple, and all these tuples are getting stored in the list. Here we can see this is my third bracket, so this all tuple will get stored in the list, but we don't want the output in this manner. That's why we are not going to print these lines. I mean student underscore skills. We will print what we will print. We are going to print in this manner. So here again I'm using iteration. Okay, let me first clear the terminal. We are using iteration in line number 70, and now name and skills. We got the name of the student. We also got the skills of each student. Now students underscore skills contain, that means it uh, student's name and skills both get stored in the student underscore skills. Now I will pick first name of each student and will get stored in the name. That means in the first iteration, it will pick the first student's name and will get stored in the variable name again. And also it will pick the skill of that student and we get stored in the skills. This all will happen in the first edition. Again, in second edition, the same process will go on. And again, name of the second student will get stored in the name and skills of the second student will get stored in the skills. In the same manner, when the third time iteration will take place, it is again going to going to pick the name of the third student and will get stored in the name and skills of the third student will get stored in the skills. So now I'm going to print skills of name. Name is my variable. So here we will get the name of each student and we are going to join. I mean, I'm going to join the skills with the help of comma. In when we choose one as our input, what we have done, we have joined the names with the help of comma. Here I'm using double single quotes and this is single quotes comma so that in output we can get the name separated with the help of comma. In the same manner, here I am joining the skills with the help of comma. Here I have used double quotes. We can use double quotes, single quotes. It doesn't matter we are using double quotes or single quotes. So again, it will join the skills with the help of comma. So we can check. I'm going to give input as okay, something is going wrong. Let me check. So we can get the output in this manner. Skills of Komal Kumari, as I have written here, skills of this is my variable. So the first dictionary, that means in the first dictionary we can see the student is Komal Kumari. That's why we are getting Komal Kumari as my first student. And then what I have written here, I have written then column. So we are getting column. Then skills are getting joined with the help of comma. So this was the second choice.